3 times Roman Reigns became part of a bloodline family war in WWE. The Bloodline storyline has become one of the greatest and most emotional sagas in WWE history. What initially started as Roman Reigns establishing himself as the Tribal Chief transformed into a family war filled with betrayals, loyalty tests, power struggles, and unforgettable rivalries. WWE successfully turned the legendary Anoa'i family dynasty into the heart of its programming, creating some of the most compelling storylines fans have witnessed in recent years. Throughout the Bloodline era, Roman Reigns found himself battling members of his own family, with every feud adding a new layer to the story. Here are 3 major occasions when Roman Reigns was caught in a Bloodline family feud. 3. Roman Reigns vs. Jacob Fatu, family loyalty turned into war. Roman Reigns' rivalry with Jacob Fatu quickly evolved into one of WWE's most explosive Bloodline stories because it blurred the line between family loyalty and outright conflict. The feud began after Roman Reigns captured the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 42. Following his victory, the Tribal Chief attempted to rebuild the Bloodline alongside the Usos on Raw. However, his plans were immediately disrupted when Jacob Fatu refused to acknowledge Roman and instead stepped forward to challenge him. Fatu openly stated that Roman had done little for him and instead credited Solo Sikoa for bringing him into WWE and giving him opportunities. The comments instantly created tension between both stars. While Roman expected respect and acknowledgement as the Tribal Chief, Jacob Fatu had different ambitions. The Samoan werewolf wanted to create his own legacy rather than live under Roman's shadow. Their rivalry officially exploded ahead of WWE Backlash 2026 when Jacob challenged Roman for the World Heavyweight Championship. The feud became even more intense because Jacob Fatu proved impossible to control emotionally. Unlike previous Bloodline members, he constantly attacked Roman and even targeted the Usos during several Raw confrontations. At Backlash, both men delivered a brutal championship match, with Roman Reigns escaping with the victory. But the war was far from over. After the match, Jacob brutally assaulted Roman and continued targeting the Bloodline in the following weeks, forcing WWE officials and Raw General Manager Adam Pearce to intervene. This week on Raw, tensions escalated again after Jacob Fatu challenged Roman Reigns to tribal combat at Clash in Italy. The rivalry has now moved beyond championship gold and turned into a battle over leadership, respect, and who truly represents the Bloodline legacy. More importantly, the storyline elevated Jacob Fatu into WWE's main event picture, with many fans already viewing him as a future centerpiece of the Bloodline saga. 2. Roman Reigns vs. Solo Sikoa, the rise of a new tribal leader. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa were once inseparable allies within the Bloodline. However, their partnership eventually turned into one of the biggest betrayals in faction history. Solo Sikoa debuted as the Bloodline's silent enforcer and played a major role during Roman Reigns' historic championship reign. Whenever Roman needed help, Solo was always there to destroy opponents and protect the family's dominance. Because of his loyalty and aggression, Solo quickly became one of the most feared members of the Bloodline. However, everything changed after Roman slowly lost control of the faction. As internal issues began tearing the Bloodline apart, Solo started stepping out of Roman's shadow. During Reigns' absence, Sikoa positioned himself as the new leader of the group. That decision sparked a major family conflict. When Roman returned, he expected acknowledgement and loyalty. Instead, Solo refused to step aside. WWE presented Solo as the younger family member who believed the former leader had become weak and no longer deserved the position of Tribal Chief. Their confrontations on SmackDown produced some of the most intense moments in the Bloodline storyline. In many cases, simple stare-downs carried more emotional weight than actual matches because the rivalry was deeply personal. Solo was no longer Roman's enforcer, he had become a rival. The storyline also showcased Solo's evolution. During Roman's absence, he transformed from bodyguard into a legitimate leader capable of controlling the Bloodline himself. 1. Roman Reigns vs. Jey Uso, the rivalry that started everything. The greatest and most emotional Bloodline feud remains Roman Reigns vs. Jey Uso. Everything began in 2020, when Roman returned alongside Paul Heyman and introduced the Tribal Chief character. Unexpectedly, Jey Uso became the first family member to challenge him. Their rivalry immediately stood out because it was never about championships alone. Roman wanted complete control over his cousin. Every confrontation revolved around family loyalty, pride, and acknowledgement. Their match at Clash of Champions became one of WWE's most emotionally charged encounters. However, it was the I Quit Hell in a Cell match that truly defined the rivalry. Roman brutally punished Jey while demanding acknowledgement as tribal chief. The emotional intensity reached another level when Jey Uso attempted to save his brother, only for Roman to manipulate the situation further. What made the storyline special was its realism. Fans could genuinely feel Jey Uso's emotional struggle throughout the feud. Ironically, the rivalry changed Jey's career forever. Before the Bloodline era, many fans viewed him only as part of the Usos tag team. After facing Roman Reigns, Jey evolved into one of WWE's biggest single stars. More importantly, the feud laid the foundation for the entire Bloodline storyline. Without Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, there may never have been a tribal chief era, bloodline dominance, or family civil war. Even years later, many fans still consider it the greatest bloodline rivalry WWE has ever produced.